Good morning, students. Myself Swati Thakre from Pratibha International School and your science teacher. Students, in the previous session, we have revised the lesson number 3, that is synthetic fiber and plastics. I hope you all get all the topic regarding this lesson number 3, that is the revised topics. Okay, students. Now, in today's session, we are going to revise the lesson number 9, force. So, let's start with the revision. See, students, what do you mean by the force? The first concept regarding the force, that is, what do you mean by the force? So, force is nothing but any action. So what are the actions? See, these are, that is push, pull or anything. See, students, here force is a push or pull. Force is whether it is push or pull. Living and non-living things can also apply the forces. The non-living things, just like example is hammer. Okay, whenever you hammer the nail on the wall, then what will happen? The hammer applies some kind of forces. So the living and non-living things can also apply the force. To apply a force over an object, interaction between object and the source of force is necessary. See, students, whenever we want to apply any kind of force, at that time, the thing which is necessary for applying force is the interaction between these two objects. Whenever two objects are in contact with each other, then the force is applied. Fourth one, whenever force act, two objects are involved. Again, this is same. Whenever force is act, at that time, two objects are involved. Not one object is over there, two objects are there, so that the force is act on that object. One which applied force and the other which received force. One which applied force and the other which received force means two types of objects are involved whenever the force is act. Okay, here are certain examples regarding how the force act or the force act. See over here, the example is to kick ball, we need to push it. Whenever we want to kick the ball, we need to push it. To pick up the book, we need to pull it. Suppose here it is book which is on my table, and I want to pick this book. What I will do? I will pull it. Okay, students. So where pull and push actions are used in our day-to-day life. Suppose we want to hit the ball. So at that time what we do? We need to push it. Okay, we need to push it, and to lift the box we need to also push it. So the push and pull, these actions, both the actions push and pull, involves the application of force. Whenever you push any kind of object or pull any kind of object, at that time we can say that we applies a force. Okay, here are certain examples. In first example, see, the door is pushed by this one person. In second example, the door is pulled by one person. See, there are lot of examples says where the forces are applicable. Where the forces are applicable. So, what do you mean by the exactly force? Force is nothing but a push or pull action. Okay, force is nothing but the push or pull any object, or in other case the definition of force is anything that changes the position of an object and causes motion. Means it can, whenever we apply the force, it can change the position of an object due to which that object is in motion. That is nothing but a force. Again, I repeat the definition of force, student. Anything that changes the position of an object and causes the motion is called a force. I hope you all get this term. See, what is this? These are the some actions which causes motion. These are the daily routine actions. Okay, in case of children's, here are some actions which causes motion. See students, means suppose there is bullock cart. So that bullock cart also causes motion because it is moved from one place to another. These children are playing various games. Okay students, these children are playing various games. So at that time they also causes the motion, and that motion is caused by the application of force. Okay, they need to apply the force, then and only then they can do their routine works. Means to kick a ball, that means we push that ball, so here we apply the force. Okay students, so these are all the examples that which causes a motion. The next one is direction and magnitude of force. See students, here we have just revised that force is required for to performing any kind of action or for performing the motion. The force is required, but whenever we apply the force, the object can change its position or motion. Okay, this we have seen in this chapter also. But at the same time, there requires the direction and magnitude of force. Means whenever the force is applied by certain direction, what will happen to that object? Or whenever the force has certain magnitude, so what will happen to that object? See students, force is anything. Okay, anything that causes change in the position. Okay, this is the definition. But the force, whenever there is direction and magnitudes are there, so what happens to the object? Okay, suppose, see students over here, direction and magnitude of force. First one is the measurement of strength and amount of force is called magnitude of force. All of you know that what do you mean by the direction? Okay, the direction is known, direction is all of you known, but the magnitude term. So what do you mean by the magnitude? The measurement of strength and amount of force. Here we always say that we apply the force to that object, but how much force is applied or what amount of force is applied is nothing but the magnitude. Okay, magnitude means, what do you mean by the magnitude? Magnitude means it is the amount of force which is applied over any kind of object. That is nothing but the magnitude of force. Okay, so students, two or more forces on the same object can applied in the same direction and opposite direction. Suppose here I have one bench over here, and I said to the students to push that bench towards me. So at that time the same object is there, but the force is applied towards me by the students. If I said that suppose this desk is there or any bench is there, and that bench is moved from me to that door, so at that time the direction changes. Okay students, so whenever we applied the forces at that time, that may be in the same direction or that may be in the opposite direction, whatever may be the direction, but the force is applied over there, but how much force is applied, this is also matters. So in this chapter we have this learned that the direction and the magnitude, these two terms are regarding to the force. Okay, so force possesses direction as well as magnitude. Okay, so see over here students, when two or more forces are applied over an object in the same direction, suppose this is a desk, this is a table which is pushed by these two men over here. See students, these two men are there or two persons are there, they push this box in the same direction. So what will happen? Here again I repeat this first point, when two or more forces are applied. Two or more forces means suppose one person applied the force, that is one kind of force. Whenever two persons are there, at that time two forces are apply over there. If there are three persons, then three forces are apply over there. So it's just like this, whenever two or more forces are applied over an object in the same direction, so what will happen? Suppose here I apply force in the same direction. Suppose first one student push this table, afterwards two students push this table in the same direction, and whenever three students are there which push, so at these three times, one person, two person and three person, at the three times there is the amount of force which is applied to that table is different. How it is? This is we have to see over here. See students, when two or more forces are applied in the same direction, then the total or net force is the addition of magnitude of both the forces. Addition of magnitude of both the forces means whenever the force is applied in the same direction by two or three person, then we can add the forces of these two or three persons. Means the net force is addition. The net force is additions. See over here, one example is when two persons push the box in the same direction with the magnitude of force each of 2 Newton. See students, 2 is the magnitude, means how much force is there, and Newton it is the unit of force which is derived by the scientist Newtons. So 2 Newton of force whenever applied in the same direction by the two person, then the resultant force will be what? Then the net force or the total force that is applied on that box is 4 Newton, because one person applied 2 Newton and also second person applied 2 Newton. So here whenever the same direction is there and force is applied, we can say that the forces or the net forces adds up. Okay. So see this statement student. If three forces acting on table in the same direction, suppose there are three forces F1, F2, F3, means three persons are there which can push the table. So at that time, and then the resultant force F acting on the object will be the sum of these factors. So the actual force which is applied on that box by these three person is the total of that person's applying force. Okay students, so that is the force applied in the same direction on object always add up. Whenever direction is same, at that time the force always add up, addition of forces occurs. Okay students, so this is about the resultant force, first step. Suppose, see students, suppose in case of second case, whenever two forces are applied over an object in the opposite direction. Suppose forces are applied by the opposite direction. Means here it is the bench and I said to students that they can push that bench towards each other. So one can push to other person can push to here person. Means two persons can, see just like this, two persons applied force for pushing this box in the opposite direction. So what will happen whenever the force are applied in the opposite direction? See students, when two forces are applied over an object in the opposite direction, the total effective or net force is the difference of magnitude of two forces. Means whenever two forces are applied on opposite direction, at that time the total force acting on that object, whenever we have to calculate what will happen, the total force or the net force is the difference between the magnitude of these two forces. Means here the forces whenever act on the opposite direction, at that time the forces are not add up, they subtract up. Okay, they are not add up, they subtract. The resultant force will be smaller one and it is of difference between these two forces. Okay students, see over here example, when two persons push the box in opposite direction with the magnitude of force of each 2 Newton. Suppose both the persons applied force on the box with 2 Newton. Means the force is same suppose, but the direction is opposite. At that time what will happen? The net force is equal to difference between these two forces, means 2 Newton minus 2 Newton, 0 Newton. So box will not move. Box will not move because forces act over there but action not causes. Okay students, so at that time whenever, so what you have to remember over here, whenever the two forces acted on opposite direction, at that time the force, time the net force will be the difference between these two forces and the resultant force will be smaller. So the force which will apply over there will be smaller. In the next case, if person is applying a force of 60 unit in one direction. Now just we have revised about the two forces acting on the opposite direction, but these two forces are same, means 2 Newton and 2 Newton. Suppose if two persons are there, they push the table in opposite direction, but one person apply the force higher and one person apply the force lower. Means suppose here if one person is applying the force of 6 unit in one direction while another person is applying the force of 8 unit in another direction, that is opposite direction. So the resultant force will be difference between them, that means 8 Newton minus 6 Newton, which is equal to 2 Newton. So in the direction of higher magnitude force. Okay, so in this case force will act in the direction of higher magnitude of the force. So see over here, these two persons are there which can push that table towards each other. So that's why that table can't move because the net force will be 0. Okay. Now here we have to see that effects of forces. So what are the effects of forces? Now till now we learned that what is exactly the force, and for force what are the conditions are required, means two objects should interact with each other. Afterwards we have revised that the resultant force, what are the resultant force. Okay, now here we have to learn that if we apply any kind of force, so what will happen afterwards when we apply the force. What are the effects of that applied forces? This we have to see. The first effect, whenever we apply any force, what will happen? That force can change the state of motion. That force can change the state of motion, means the motion is changes. The motion is changes. How? See students over here, an object can be in two states. There are two types of states. Whenever we can say regarding the object, there are two states. Whether the first one is the rest state. Rest state. What is that? When an object is not moving. Suppose object is at rest, means it is not moving. So this means a stationary object is called in the state of rest. So that object, whenever it is not in moving, at that time we can say that that object is in the state of rest. Suppose these are the benches which are in front of me. They cannot walk by themselves. Okay, they are raised. Whenever they move, when we push or pull that bench, at that time only these benches are move or in motion. But now these benches are still over their position. That means they are in the state of rest. So for example, a ball and a book kept over the ground and not moving. Suppose here in on my desk there is a notebook. So suppose this notebook is on my desk. So it is in the rest position because I am not handling this notebook now. So it is in the rest position. Okay. The second state is motion state. Means a moving object is called the state of motion. For example, a moving car, moving ball. Suppose ball is moving from one place to another, at that time you can say that that object is said to be in the motion. Okay. So a force can move the stationary object. Okay. A force can speed up, decrease the speed. A force can changes the speed and change the direction of moving object. Suppose here I have the ball which I pull from one place to another, or which I push from one place to another place. At that time what will happen? Force is applied over there, but that ball can acquire some kind of motion so that it can speed up, or the speed get decreases at certain point, and also the change in direction. Suppose I kick the ball towards left side, then it will go to the left side. But suppose the person which is stand over there, so that person can kick this same ball towards right hand side, then ball will move towards right. So in this way, whenever we apply the force, at that time it can changes the motion of any object and also direction of any object. So over here, see one example. Finally, we can say that force can change the state of motion. Okay, see students, a boy want to move tire faster, it has to be pushed repeatedly. If he want to move faster this tire, so it has to be pushed this repeatedly. If it stop, then the tire does not move faster. Okay, so it is totally depend upon how much amount of force you apply over there. This is example, a throw changes the position of basketball. Suppose that basketball is in your hand. So when you throw that basketball into that basket, what will happen? The position of the ball changes. Okay, the position of the ball changes. So this is the first effect which is act by the forces, that is the force can change the state of motion of any object. Now the second one is it can change in the direction of moving ball after it strikes the ruler placed in its path. Suppose there is the ball which is moving in position, which is in moving state at that time, and here I take one scale in front of that ball, what will happen? That ball will strike to that scale and easily change its position. That means it turn to another position, just like this example. See over here, students. Okay. In the second example, see figure 9.12, a stroke. So suppose this is lawn tennis. At that time when we stroke that ball, it can changes the direction of motion of ball. So in what direction we stroke that ball, that direction will that ball goes. Okay, so the force can also change the direction of moving ball. First effect of force is it can change the state of motion. Second effect is it can change the direction of any moving ball. And the third case, see students over here, next example. In the football game, a goalkeeper stops the football going towards the goal post by applying a force by his hand. So here also force is applied. In the cricket game, what will happen? The batsman can push a fast moving ball in the same direction or opposite direction, or change the direction of the movement of ball because of force being applied from his bat. So whenever the force is applied by the bat on the ball, so it can change the state of motion of that ball, it can change the direction of ball. Okay students, so these are the effects of forces. Okay, these are the effects of forces. See over here, the next effect is force can change the shape of an object. What is the effect? Force can change the shape of object. First, what we will see, what we have revised over here, force can change the direction of object, force can change the state of motion of object. Now the third effect is force can change shape of object also. It can change the shape of that object also. How? So whenever you apply the force on an inflated balloon, suppose you have an inflated balloon and you apply the force by your hand on that balloon, what will happen? See, when you apply the force on an inflated balloon by pressing it using your hand from both the side, then what will happen? The force of pressure can changes the shape of balloon. See student, just like this figure, the inflated balloon is of circular, but when you apply the force by the hands in both the direction, what will happen? That balloon is look like just oval in shape, not a circular. So from that we can say that force can changes the shape of an object also. Here suppose you can change the shape of rubber band. See over here, this is the rubber which is stretched by this hand. So afterwards it can changes the length of that rubber band. Okay, also you can change the shape of rubber band and spring by stretching it in opposite direction. See, this spring is in fuse condition, and whenever it is stretched, see, this is spread condition. Okay, you can change the shape of dough into the bread by applying force with rolling pin. Suppose you apply the force by the rolling pin, at that time you can also change the shape of dough. So we can say that from these examples that the force can change the shape of an object also. Okay, so this is the effect of force. Whenever force is applied on any kind of object, at that time the shape of object itself gets changes due to the application of that force. Okay, so this is the most important effect of force. Now, till now what we have seen? We seen or we revised the term regarding the force, that is, what do you mean by the force? Okay, there are certain examples of force in our daily life. This we have revised over here. Now afterwards, what are the resultant force and what are the effect of forces? This we have seen. Now we will learn or we will revise the types of forces. There are mainly two types of forces: contact forces and non-contact forces. So what are contact forces? Contact forces means whenever two objects are in contact with each other, at that time force will apply. Okay. And non-contact means whenever two objects are not in, though these two objects are not in contact with each other, but the force is also applied over there whenever two objects are not in contact. So that kind of force is nothing but the non-contact force. This we will see over here in detail, but this is the central idea about the how many types of forces. Two types of forces are there, contact forces and the non-contact forces. See students, the first one is the contact force. For contact force, the interaction between two objects is necessary. Okay, the contact name itself indicates that there is contact between two objects. So for the contact force, what is the first requirement? There is interaction between two objects is necessary. So force that comes into action after the interaction between object is called contact force. So the force which will comes into action, suppose you interact two objects and due to that interaction the action occurs, so that force is nothing but the contact force. Contact force works on the point of the contact, means it is the principle behind that contact force is contact is necessary. For example, pushing a car, suppose you want to push the car, what will happen? You just place your hand on the car and you pushed it. So here what is contact? You can here two objects are in contact with each other, that means your hand and the car's body. So these two objects whenever in contact with each other, at that time force is applied over there. Hitting the ball, kicking a ball, so whenever you hit the ball, you kick the ball, at that time for the which force is over there? Contact force is over there. Okay, so for the contact force there are two types of contact forces, means these contact forces are subdivided into the two forces, means first one is the muscular force and second one is the friction force. Okay, contact forces itself has two types, that is frictional force and the muscular force. Here we first see over the muscular force. What do you mean by the muscular force? See students, the forces due to the action of muscle is called muscular force. Whenever the muscles are involved for applying the forces, at that time we can say that this is the muscular force. We can say force resulting because of action of muscle is called muscular force. Whenever we apply the muscles for the force, at that time we can say that that one is the muscular force. Muscular force is applied only after interaction with the objects. So whenever this muscular force is applied, it is applied only then when the two objects are in contact with each other. See students, here are the two examples for the muscular forces, means where we use our energy, we use our muscles which are in contact with other objects. Okay, see over here examples. When we push the object like school bag or lift the bucket of water, we use the muscular forces. Okay, when you push the object like school bag, suppose you push, at that time you require the energy which is by your hand. Okay students, also to lift the bucket of water, for lifting the bucket of water, what will happen? Your muscles apply force over there. That means here we can say that this is the muscular force. Animals also use of muscular force to carry out their task. So see, this is bullock cart, so they can also carry out their cart by using their muscles, by using their muscular force, by using their muscles they apply the force to cause any action. Okay, here it is the tug of war. See students, some persons can push, some persons can pull this rope towards them, other persons can also pull this rope towards them. So this is the tug of war. In this case, what will happen? In this case, they uses their muscles to pull this rope towards them. Okay, so here it is also one of the example of muscular force. Okay students, got it? Now the second one, example for the contact force is a friction force. It is the friction force. See students, what is the friction? Friction means whenever two objects are in contact with each other, there occurs something interaction between these two objects. That is the friction. So the forces of friction arises between the surface of two objects. So means here the contact is required for the two objects, only then the frictional force is apply over here. So it is the one of the type of contact force. So the force of friction always acts on all moving objects and its direction is always opposite to the direction of motion. See students, the force of friction always acts on all the moving objects. Suppose the moving object is there. Suppose I have the ball, I kick the ball and it moves from one direction to another direction with very speed, but at certain point on the ground that ball will stop. Why that ball will stop? Due to the frictional force, because that ball is in contact with the surface of ground and the surface of ground acted the force which is against the force which is acted by the ball. So the force of friction comes into action only after interaction between two objects. Thus it is the type of force. See students, over here why we can walk on the ground, why we cannot sleep on the ground, because there occurs the friction between the ground and surface of ground and our legs. How this is? See, this is the normal contact force and against that force or opposite to that force frictional forces occur. So here are the examples. Due to the force of friction between the surface of the ball and the ground that brings the moving ball to the rest, and when we stop pedaling a bicycle, suppose you pedal the bicycle which is in the motion, but when you stop pedaling the bicycle it gradually slows down itself, okay, and finally comes to stop. Why it is? Because due to the force of friction. Okay students, got it? So these two are the types of contact forces, means the muscular force and the friction force. The next one is the non-contact forces. First we seen the contact force, now non-contact forces. The name itself indicate that non-contact means there is no occurrence of contact, means the contact between two objects is not occur over here, but till the force is applied over here. Till the force is applied, because there are no contact of two surfaces or two objects, but the force is applied. How? See over here, force due to without interaction between two objects is called non-contact force. For example, a magnet can pull an iron nail from a distance. Okay, if you have a magnet and certain iron nails, so when you directed that magnet towards that nail, what will happen? That nail are itselfly attracted towards that magnet if there is no contact between them. So that is the example of non-contact force. Also the magnetic force, electrostatic force and the gravitational force, these all are the example of non-contact forces. Again I repeat, just like contact forces, in non-contact forces are also three subtypes, that is the magnetic force, electrostatic force and a gravitational force. Okay, so let us see one by one what are these forces and what are the effects of that forces. First one is the magnetic force. The name itself indicates that the force is driven by or the force is applied by using magnet. So a magnet can exert a force on another magnet without being in contact. Okay, so magnet can exert force on another magnet, but these two magnets are not in contact with each other, but without contact also there occurs the force by the magnet. The force exerted by a magnet is an example of non-contact forces. So for example, opposite pole of two magnets attract each other. Just we have seen in the lightning chapter that suppose two opposite forces are there, means one plus charge, one negative charge. So positive negative charges attract each other and same charges repel each other. So this is all about the magnetic forces. Next one is the electrostatic force. See students, what is electrostatic force? Electrostatics means here the certain electrons are over there. So when a charged body exerts a force on another charged or uncharged body, it's called electrostatic force. Again I repeat, when a charged body exerts a force on another charged or uncharged body. We have seen in the lightning chapter what is the charged body. Whenever two substances rub with each other, at that time they acquired certain charges. That means that is the charged body, okay, which can possess certain charge over there. So whenever that charged body can exert a force on another charged or another uncharged body, at that time the force which is applied over there is the electrostatic forces. Okay, so a charged body attracts an uncharged body. Suppose your object is in charge, or your object is charged and another object is uncharged, so they get attract with each other. Okay, so a positively charged body attracts a negatively charged body and repels positively charged body without coming in contact. Means these two body are not in contact with each other. Suppose these two objects are there, suppose one possesses positive charge, one possesses negative charge, both are not in contact with each other but they attract towards them. Why? Because there is the force of electrostatic force. And suppose two objects are there which possess same charge, they repel with each other. So there is also the force which can repel these two objects away from them. So that is nothing but the electrostatic force. Next one is the gravitational force. Okay students, the name gravitational force itself indicates that here is the relation between the gravity. Okay, here it is the relation between the gravity. Means when we hold a ball in our hand above the ground, what we will say that we can say that that ball which is in our above the ground, which is in our hand above the ground, is in rest. Okay, and the moment we leave it free in the air, suppose we throw that ball in the air, what will happen? That throwing ball in the air will fall into the ground. That throwing ball will fall into the ground. Okay students, so how it is fall? So students, how it is fall? Because there is a force which pull that ball towards the ground. It is the force of attraction of earth. Okay, what is that force? The force of attraction of earth can pull that ball towards itself. That's why that ball which is in the air can comes down on the earth. So the force that pulls an object towards the earth is called gravitational force. Okay, it's called this gravitational force. Okay students, got it? So it is an attractive force. Gravitational force is an attractive force which is depend on the mass of interacting object. Whenever the object is in air, it will falls down, means it can attract that object. So it is the attracting force. So the gravitational force acts between an object and earth even when they are not in contact with each other. Suppose we throw the ball in air and that ball comes down onto the earth, onto the ground, but they are not in contact with each other, because ground is at the lower and the ball is at the uppermost side in the air. So They are not in contact with each other, but there applies the force of gravitational, due to which that ball is falls down onto the earth. Okay, so it is the example of non-contact force. That is, gravitational force is an example of non-contact force. So students, it is because of the gravitational attraction of earth that occurs certain phenomenon. Suppose raindrops fall towards the earth. Okay, the leaves shade by the tree fall towards the earth. Whenever the leaves are fall down, that means there is the force of attraction, that is the force of gravitation. Water of the river also falls down. Sometimes something thrown up will also fall down. The earth moves around the sun, this is also the gravitational force. So these are all the examples of gravitational force. So the gravitational force is exerted by the earth, moon, sun and other planets to others, means with each others. So earth and other planets attract all objects towards them. Since earth attracts all objects even without in contact with each other, thus the gravitational force is a non-contact force. For example, when we release an object from height, it falls over the ground because of gravitational attraction of earth. Okay, so we all lie on the earth's surface because of this pull of gravitational force of attraction. So the measure of the force with which earth pulls us towards itself. Suppose we have to measure how much force is applied by the earth to pull that object towards itself. Suppose the apple which is fall down from the tree. So how much force is applied to that apple so that that apple will fall onto the ground? That term is known as quantity, that is the weight. Okay students, again the measure of the force, we have to measure the force. So the measure of the force with which earth pulls us towards itself is measured in terms of quantity called weight. That is, the weight of an object is measure of the force. Suppose here we take weight of the object, that means we can say that that is the force applied over there by the earth. So see over here students, this is the figure of spring balance. So what is this spring balance and what is the relation of that spring balance towards the gravitational force? So students, see over here, a spring balance shown over here, it is an instrument which we use to measure the weight of an object. This is the instrument which we use for measuring the weight of an object. So the scale over here on this spring balance moves when someone pulls the force or applies the force it from one end to this hook. Okay, to this hook, suppose we apply one of the force or one weight is attached over here at that time. At that time, what will happen? At that time, what will happen, student? So students, the scale of the spring balance moves. See the scale which is on that instrument. See balance. The scale of the spring balance moves when someone pulls or applied force it from this one end by the hook. So the spring balance is used to measure the applied force, means how much force is applied over there. For that purpose this spring balance is used, since the weight is a force. Okay, so we can use the spring balance to measure our weight also. Okay students, so this is all about the gravitational force. Here again I revise, there are two types of forces, contact force and non-contact force. Again contact force are subdivided into the two forces, that is muscular force and the friction force. Now the non-contact forces are subdivided into the three types of forces. What are these? Magnetic forces, electrostatic forces and the gravitational forces. Okay students, I hope you all also get this revision type of chapter, that is lesson number 9, force. Okay. So if you have query regarding this revision, so you can feel free to ask me. You can mail me to this this is my mail ID. You can also send it to that mail ID. Okay students. I hope students you all get this topic. So in next session I try to take certain questions answers regarding this topic. Okay. Till then, thank you.